love is when you play. Hey, hey, hey. Tasha Rozez always I get a fight, but she know where to play for keep it crowd alright. To string up on them dance.
Good evening, Tasha Rozez.
Good evening, Miss Sweetness. How are you?
We just wanted to thank you for agreeing to do this interview. We know that you have a ton of fans, and we hope that this interview will be informational to them so that they can get to know who Tasha Rozez is as a selectress and when you're not selecting what it is that you do.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. So tell me, who is Tasha Rozez?
Oh my. I'm just a girl. Tasha Rozez is myself. What am I? I am a person just like everybody else, and I just do a few things that I find dear to heart. One of them is play music, DJing, sound system to be general. So Tasha Rozez is actually the owner, selector, and founder and CEO and everything of Guns N' Roses Sound System, all-female champion sound. So that is who Tasha Rozez actually is. She's the person that plays the sound, owns the sound, runs the sound, and has everything to do with Guns N' Roses and where it's been and where it's going. Yeah, that's really Tasha Rozez. I mean, of course, Natasha, who is myself, is a bundle of things. But as for Tasha Rozez, yeah, Tasha Rozez sometimes is a artist. I've done a few collaborations with some of my good friends, YOK, Cardinal Official, have some other things coming in the making for that too as well. So Tasha Rozez is also an artist. Tasha Rozez, a mix with my real name, Natasha, is also a humanitarian and very, very into the humanitarian world and the academics as well. So, I mean, I'm also a student. I'm a mother. I have an adopted son from World Vision. Mm-hmm. So, like I said in the beginning, Tasha Rozez is just as the same as you or anybody else, just, you know, doing a lot of things that I find dear to my heart.
That's a lot of hats that you wear. Humanitarian, selectress, mom, owner of a sound system. Let's try to break this down a little bit. What motivated you to become a selectress? What motivated you to become part of the sound industry?
A lot of things motivated me, but if we just take it back to just how, you know, day by day motivation, I'm around, you know, a lot of people just growing up, you know, coming up, you're into music. Everybody likes music. So if it starts just being a regular party patron, you know, so I'm going to parties. I like music. But then, you know, being, you know, doing the music and singing and doing all those other things that I kind of dabbled in just from growing up, I was more interested in the fundamentals, if you may, of sound and music. I mean, I was going to clubs when I was 15, 16, 17, but it wasn't clubs. It was halls and, you know, the places where they're keeping parties and stuff like that. And while I'm there, the role of the females mostly were either, you know, you're there with another guy, or you're just, you're a dancer, or, you know, you're in a girl kind of crew. And not to say none of those things weren't me, but that wasn't really me at that. That wasn't sparking my plug, you know. I was really into just the whole dynamics of those guys around the sound. Like, what are they doing? What's that guy doing? Like, what the hell are they doing? Like, that was what was, I've seen dancing. I've danced. I've, you know, had my fun and stuff like that. So after a while, that's what happens when you go out too early, you know. So, you know, if you go out from early, you start to see things from early, and certain things weren't me. You know, I had friends and family members that were in, you know, crews and stuff like that. And I mean, yeah, I'd be in the crew, but I was never like the main girl or nothing like that anyways. So it's like, that wasn't really me. So I was like, you know, as I started to progress and go to parties, that was where I was. I was always over there by the DJ booth or whatever. Mind you, it wasn't even a liking to the DJ or the guy, you know, in the beginning, because I really wasn't concerned with that. I just wanted to know what the hell was going on over there.
Right.
And, you know, I started to gravitate to that. I would go to Jamaica, come back, you know, people would say, oh, you never getting a bodyguard cassette, because, you know, we're from Clarendon. So, you know, and I'm like, what's that? Like, what's a bodyguard cassette? then I must say, yo, no, the sound for, and then I started to put two and two together from going away and coming back from 14, 15, you know, and saying, oh, it's sound system and it's DJ, but in Jamaica is a different thing, is a sound. And because, you know, I would hear songs on the top 40 over here, and then when I hear them in Jamaica, it's the same song, but it's on a different rhythm, or some have get to find out what is a dub plate and all these things. And because I'm trying to be cool,
Right.
you know, them would have say, you know, a bodyguard cassette. I say, yeah, man, I have one. So I make sure when I go to Jamaica, I get a bodyguard cassette. And I started to understand, oh, so that's what it is. And then I just got from that to, you know, listening to the tapes, you started to like certain sounds. And I used to say, yo, that bud, imagine if I could have Bounty Killer call up my name.
Mm-hmm.
Or imagine if I could have, you know, it was like that. But I still, at that time, didn't even think of me playing a sound. I just, you know, thought about it in my head. Until one day, it just came to me. I mean, I'm Lindo P, big up Lindo P. That's my daughter's father. She's 13, and, you know, I've been hanging around Lindo for a while, those 15-year-old days. So, you know, I started to hang around him, and Red Flame was like the first sound system where we really start understand what is a sound and what sound man do. And you have a selector, and you have an MC, and you have an owner, and you have all these different things that go on. And it just, you know, I just got into that. I mean, hanging around him, it was something that was right in front of me. So I was already slightly interested. And then being around him made me more interested. And then just having feedback from him and people around him where they would say, yo, Tasha, you have it, you know, and, you know, you should do it. And I'm like, for real, you think? And, you know, when they go out, I would be in the basement and I play around, and I was like, yeah, man, this is cool. And it just went from that to where I am now.
Okay, now, are these the days when you were part of the Fresh Arts program also?
These were the days. But these were a little bit of the days where I said it didn't even sink in yet that a sound I want to play, right? Because I was in Fresh Arts, I was in the theater, in drama and theater, right? You know, I wasn't saying, let me go into the music or production, right? Like things a DJ would go into. Because again, it just comes from being, I guess, in a musically inclined place. You know, so I mean, in Fresh Arts, I was doing theater. And the reason I was doing theater is because actually at the time I was in a little mini singing group, Female Attraction, a friend of mine, and Tamara and I. And we were hoping, you know, that we'd be the next flipping Spice Girls, basically, you know. So we would, I was doing that, and I was going to the studio and doing silly stuff. And when I say silly, it's silly in comparison to what I do now, right? But I was doing those things when you want to be an artist. So when I was in Fresh Arts, because you get paid for Fresh Arts, it was a summer program, I wasn't able to, the contract that I had with the people at the studio and everything, I wasn't able to do something else, sing, and get paid for it also. Right. So I had to decide to do theater, which was really good when I think about it now, because I think that's what makes me be able to speak in front of people and not be shy and, you know, just come up with stuff to say like I'm acting or whatever, you know. Okay. So but yeah, at that time it was where I was in Fresh Arts. And I guess at that point is where I was really honing my skills, not even knowing what I was going to use them for, but just having the different performing arts opportunities.
So it seems like a lot of the lessons that you learned at Fresh Arts show through when you, let's say, clash, because if you have to act and different things like that, when you get in front of a crowd, it seems like all of that comes to the front. And while we're speaking of clash, if I could just touch on that right quick, I see that you have a clash coming up December 3rd in Germany. Tell us about that. How are you going to get prepared for that? What's your mindset like right now?
Well, yeah, for real. I mean, Fresh Arts, I wouldn't say prepared me for sound, but it did definitely prepare me for a mass audience, you know, and not the stage fright and stuff like that, right? Because, you know, that's where I got into just kind of, again, you know, listening to the tapes and stuff like that started to have me listen to different clashing personalities and seeing how, you know, when you listen to a clash and you hear who wins, there's reasons why the person wins. I mean, of course, the songs are a big deal, but there's other things. You know, there's a reason why them call Panther the 5-star general. You know what I mean? Because Panther have a style like him. You know, he's a Scorpio like myself, so we'll have to give him that. But him just have a style about him. Squingy too, another Scorpio. They just have a style about them where, you know, like it's like a character. You know, like the guy from what's his name, Transporter, that
right.
guy, like they're just so cool, and everything they do, when they do it, they're just so cool. And those are the people you want to not necessarily emulate, but those are the people you learn from. Those are your Harrison Fords and your Denzel Washingtons, you know, in theater, in sound. So you want to be like them and kind of take little tips from them and learn from them. Of course, now with that, like any other actor, for, you know, the comparison, you want to bring yourself to the stage as well. So I think sounds in general, they have a kind of character. You know what I mean? So that character is definitely what you want to bring out. And you also study your opponents. You know their styles. You know their character. You know their music. I mean, at the end of the day, of course, you have to have songs and dubs. But it's not just about that. To me, it's very psychological. There's a lot of other little mini elements that go on in a clash that you as a selector need to be aware of and know to win over a crowd and to win over your rounds and stuff like that. So basically, that's what I do. I mean, it's a consistent study, even being a sound system. You know, you have a lot of DJs. You know, back to your question, you say, how do you study or prepare for a clash? Yeah. I think it's consistent preparation. Like, you have to know your sound and your box and know yourself as an actor or a selector and know what you can do and know that if you're in certain situations, this is how you're going to defend yourself. So even at any time, because you cannot dance at any dance, you know, and at 3:30, if the next man decides he wants to say something to you, yo, Rozez, you know, not tune, bam, him just, there you go. Right. So you know what I mean? A lot of these clashes nowadays, I think I'm like coming from the old school where, you know what I mean? When I'm in a force ripe war is something we build up over time. So, you know what I mean? So you know when it'll come. You know when it's coming because you feel it coming. So you know when to get your guard up and you know when to have your guard down, type of thing. So for me, I don't want to say I'm always prepared, but yeah, man, I'm always prepared. Like, I'm always in my head back that you have competitors and they might be out there for you. So you have to be, you know, ready to defend yourself. And in business now, you might get that call where they say, yo, our clash for you in a Rose is December, Germany. You have to be smart about the battles you're gonna choose. You get enough calls for war. I'm not an idiot. You know what I mean? Right. So when I'm not to say this clash is an easy clash either, but it fits what I'm doing right now and it fits where I am right now, and it's something that I could manage 50-50. I'm gonna say 90-10 still, right? But you know what I mean, right? So I think for me, that's how I prepare. It's a consistent preparation and, you know, again, knowing your battlefield and knowing your whole, I guess, world war, knowing which battles out of that world war to go into and which ones to kind of not go into. Because, you know, you can prepare yourself all you want. If you're not ready, you're just not ready.
As you're speaking, I'm imagining that there must be some adversities that you face because you're a female, an attractive female, a very intelligent, highly skilled female in a male-dominated industry. What are some of the adversities that you face, if there are any?
Oh, yeah, there's lots. I mean, it's like a double whammy almost in a way. Like, you know, you can't get the job if you don't have experience, and then you can't get experience if you don't get the job. It's because you're a female. So in a male-dominated industry, one would feel that you may... When I started to play sound, I always thought, oh my God, all these guys are going to be like my little brothers and they're just going to take care of me. No. Oh. Not even my baby father business about me in a certain time of the day. Me and Linda play together regular. And it's not to say he does anything to outshine me or anything like that, but yo, him nah do nothing for unshine himself. Right? So it's like, you have that thing where as a female you may feel that you're gonna have that support naturally because you're a female, and then you don't get it. Then when you don't get it, you don't want to act as if, oh, it's because you're a girl. It's natural competition. I would be like that if it was you, Genie, and then we're friends tomorrow on the phone, right? So that's just how it is. So yes, you know, there's things you go through. A lot of politics just being in a male-dominated industry, and then a lot of politics, again, because you're not sucky. You know, I mean, when you're good, now you start, I don't want to say get blacklists, but already there's little monopolies going on, right? So, you know, it's like, you know, it's funny. My mom was saying it, they do it very well. You know, they'll say, for example, yeah, man, she bad, yo, that girl, she bad, she kill everything. For me, like you, man, about to put her up on your dance. Right.
Just
Like,
little
okay,
things.
you're bigging me up to the fullest, but you know, you're putting that thing on it like, yo, she'll show you up, dog. She'll show you up, you know, or you know, so it's just weird things like that over the 10 years now I've noticed. I mean,
Right.
you know, rest in peace again, Squingy. He always used to say to me, Rose is not them baby, you know, don't make them baby you. And it's true. If you move like a little baby, like a girl, you're gonna get dealt with like a girl. You act like you're cute and come to the dance. The man then will play out every song and give you last 10 minutes for playing at the dance.
Right.
Like, no, you need, and that's why sometimes it's hard to say if it's female or if it's just natural competition, right? But then there's times where, you know, it's a it feels like it's a female thing. You know, like, you know, it's hard to say what it is, but in those same situations, you're like, okay, you know, you're keeping a party and it's all female themed, and you tell me, say, you can't call two female DJ for come play it? Like,
Yeah.
you know, so I mean, those are the things I find as a female, the adversities that I may face. Of course, you know, you're gonna have that natural thing where maybe people think you're not good because you're female, but I mean, that should be accomplished in your first 3, 4 gigs in your life, right? If you're no good, people shouldn't be calling you anyways, male or female, right? So as a female, if you're good and you know you're good, you're just good. That's how I look at it. I don't, you know, agree with people saying, oh, they just call her because she's a girl, because you know, I can't excite a party just by being a girl, especially if it's not a escort service.
Right.
Right. So I have to have actual talent. So when you know you have talent and you know there's certain individuals that are not contacting you, you don't really want to say it's because you're a girl, or, you know, when you get into certain situations, you don't want to say it's because you're a girl. I would more say it's just the politics of the whole thing. And, you know, because for everybody that I might think that's why they're doing it because I'm a girl, I have 4 or 5 other people that are the total opposite. And, you know, I have no problems with them. So it's really hard. I mean, just being again in the male dominated industry, the guys have a tendency to want to put you in that box because there's not so many of us. So I think the more we have females, because even in the hip hop world, female rappers, it's not like it's a thing anymore, a specialty. There's so many female rappers.
Right.
So, you know, it's hard for them to say, do we get, you know, is it hard to be a female rapper? Because now you have, for example, Nicki Minaj, female rappers that men rappers are endorsing.
Right.
And that's what needs to start happening with the female DJs. You know what I mean? You can't just say, oh, well, she's a girl, put her that, like, you know, you need to start endorsing us all together as DJs, you know, and stop this, you know, segregation thing. And if there is any, I think it's more on the because it's a male dominated industry, and it's like they just don't know any better. It's not like they mean to do it, but it's a ratio of, you know, 1 to 10, right? So it's like, whatever.
Chauvinism is definitely a huge issue in this industry. As you can imagine, you know, Bonita and myself, we are women. We do things on a different level. And of course, we do face different little itty bitty things or whatever, but you can tell it's not hidden. What things would you like to see improve? How do you think they can make the different improvements that need to be made in this industry?
When I was saying about the like endorsing, like you need to make us part of your team. And it's not even, it's funny because I was watching that show that came on the other day about the female rappers or whatever.
Sounds nice on BET.
Yeah, and I agree with what they were saying. Like, we don't need a cool guy. We don't need Lil Wayne to boost up Nicki for us to know Nicki's good. We know Nicki's good. Yes, having her come from Young Money makes her even not better, but it makes us see her easier and quicker because he's endorsing her. Fine, it pushes her publicity a lot more. But it's like, why do we need, even though I just said this, I contradicting myself, yes, we want the men to endorse us and, you know, work with us, but it's not to show our validity. It's not for that. It's just to show that we are part of your team, just like blacks and whites working together. I don't need another race to work with me for me to know I'm solid, but it makes the whole world just work better. You know what I'm saying? It just makes the whole thing as DJs and core DJs look better. It bad for other dance and a me and a next top DJ and a next top DJ. Like that just makes us as Canada and us as DJs and entertainers look much better. Especially like when we watch not American Idol, Academy Awards or whatever, those MTV, when we see all the artists together, we feel so good. It's a natural feeling. It's like, yeah, like that unity just makes us feel good. And it makes those upcoming artists feel good about what they're going into. So I don't, you know what I mean? It's not even like I need them or they need me. We need each other to make this thing continue. And like, I don't know why people don't see that. People are too attitude, too much bitter, too much hype. I have a lot of female friends that are all doing things. Some in fashion, some in music, some in writing, some in poet, just doing all these different things, spoken word, internet, websites, graphics, people on all walks of life doing things. And I'm always one of the people to say, yo, anything you're doing, since I have a voice, yo, hit me up. I'll help you. You're promoting buttons, give me one of your buttons, girl, wear it on my jacket, whatever, like, you know. But these people sometimes are so quick to want to go to the other people that don't want to work with them. Like, you need to start sticking with your own, you know, in regards to your industry and working with these people so that at the end of the day, we can make our market and our industry and DJs and soundmans, all of us can look better together. And that's why, again, I have to give it to people like Black Cat and Bia Sadisi and them Monday, because, you know, like, and a lot of other sounds, Red Flame, Super Fresh, King Turbo, you have enough sound, Vertex, enough of them Monday, they're there. They give me, as Tasha Rozez, a platform to come work on them, say, yo, Rozez, link, whether a dub plate, whether an artist, big up Cartel, big up Tyrical, big up the whole of them, Bounty Killer, same way. Like, those people, you know, they're there. They're at their level and they still know that, you know, other people need us to make this whole thing look good. But you have a set of people that aren't like that. They're all for themselves. They're bitter. Yeah. And I mean, it just, at the end of the day, it's killing us. And I don't know why they don't see that, Bonita and Sweetness. I just don't know why they don't see that. Like, it's not good. You know what I mean? It's just not good. And it really pisses me off at some, you know, as you can hear, because it's like, we're all working towards the same goal, dog. So the more you try to fight down the next man, I mean, trust me, I'm competitive too. The sound of my Germany, I got dead. But guess what? When me and them now war, me and them I got good. Good. Yeah, unless a small violation go on. You know what I mean? But other than that, you know, you have to be like, keep it moving, man. I don't know, but I just
to laugh. You just had to put that in there. You're right. Kill them all.
Yeah, them off dead still, you know, because that's how the thing go, you know. But at the end of the day, remember, if they weren't there and I wasn't there, I'm not here, we wouldn't be having a clash. Okay, we wouldn't be having a clash for Bonita and Sweetness now to want to talk about. Like, so you have to see all these things help. Because it'll go up on the website and it'll go up on maybe people that, you know, maybe somebody that didn't know about you is going to know about you now when I do my blast. And somebody that didn't know about me is going to know about me now because of your, you know, we all work together.
Right.
So what's the point of holding down each other? Like, you're going to call me for this interview and I'm going to tell you no because... Tell me why I would say no. Like, unless, even if I'm busy, I can reschedule it for one of the 350 days out of the year. Right. Like, you know, but, you know, everybody's just caught up, I think, and that's a big problem. And I think if we just, you know, not even the males or the females, just people in general. And, you know, that book I was reading about people just learning to be civil, it's really very important.
Sounds like an excellent book to read. You're very, very passionate about these changes. I can hear it, and I hope that many who listen to your interview hear this passion and that they don't just listen, but they act on it, because it's critical. We need to stick together. We can't continue to go in the opposite direction thinking that we need some synergy.
Mm-hmm. And you know what is funny too? People notice it. Okay. People talk and people notice it and they see what's going on, you know, in the different industries, especially, you know, being a traveled person, you know, you hear the different feedback from the different hemispheres of the world. So, you know, some fool when I gone away swear say, oh, it's right. All good. It's not good. No. You got Germany and them places, the people them have so much sound etiquette and manners towards each other. And that's me observing the man and the man them, right?
Yeah.
When I talk with me. just because me a woman. Because you have some man, them not no manners with me, need them. Me come on and them fling down the headphones and them. I'm like, what's your friggin' problem? Like, not to say I want you to bow down and give it to me and all that, but just decent manners that a lot of people lack.
Seems like you are always busy. Do you have leisure time? And if you do, what do you do?
Well, like right now, I'm just sitting down in my room. Right now, I'm just sitting down in my room and I'm going to get my, brain together. I have school work to go look at. I love to read. I love to keep myself educated. I mean, I love the History Channel and stupid stuff like that. So now that I'm in classes again, doing my bachelor's, it's like I'm just at class watching TV. So it's okay. And then, I just do a lot of things that everybody else does. I go to the movies. I have my daughter. She's 13, so she's like my best friend. Anytime I feel like being a kid and whatever, I just holler at her and, we go do whatever we do. I love to just do whatever I feel like doing. I love to eat. I shouldn't even pretend like I don't want to say that. I love to eat. So I'm always like eating or like finding something, I'll be here and I just want something. We'd go to the mall, me and my daughter. And, once we're at the mall, we find other things to do and we go out. We go to the museum, sometimes down at the ROM. We've been there a few times already for the year. We just do whatever our mind takes us to do. We went to the movies the other day and we got there too early. So in between that, we went and bought more movies so that after we watched the movie, we could have more movies to watch. We just do whatever and I do whatever. I go out with my friends sometimes. We just link up, have girl night, same thing, watch movies. And most of the time, honestly, if I'm not playing out or whatever, I'm just home resting, just chilling out. You know what I mean? Clean my room, sort out my stuff. Just, go on the internet and do whatever. I don't really make a big fuss of stuff. So that's what I like to do. Just do whatever. Go to the spa, get a facial. We'll see what new age-defying techniques they have out there and see if I can take any. And they always tell me no or whatever. So, whatever. I'll be sometimes paranoid with that because I know I'm up so late at night and I live in the nightlife. So, because of that, that's a lot of the reasons why I will want to just stay home and sleep and catch up on my rest. My mother will always say, them nightlife, they got make your face look long and I hear it. So, when I don't have anything to do, meaning play out or music wise, I just chill out. I just rest a lot. I get mad at my friends that, they say they're tired. I'm like, well, then sleep. Like, if you're tired, nobody no more busier than me. And if me can't find time for sleep, them can't find time for sleep. You know what I mean? It's just about prioritizing yourself, I guess. But yeah, my spare time is basically at home. And if I can, I will, sometimes to take a quick trip somewhere, like on the weekend. They have a lot of last minute deals and stuff. So I'll do that or just go somewhere and come back really quick. But I just like to chill out. I just like to have quiet peace time.
Tasha, you are very inspirational to myself, I'm sure to other women in the industry, and hopefully to those who are young and wish to enter this industry in any area. And you've been here for quite some time. How do you last? I mean, I hear that what you do in your leisure time, but you're still in this industry. Mm-hmm. And you're still very much you're very prevalent in the industry still. You still matter. How does that happen?
Thank you. I guess again it's because I'm doing something that's close to my heart. When I first started the sound, it was me and Shantae, big up Shantae, that used to play on the sound. Guns N' Roses is always like my son, because I have a daughter, so it's always like my son. And when she left, it's like the dad left, right? Because she didn't, not to say she left, I shouldn't speak, well, she left the sound, but she, it wasn't different strokes for different folks. It wasn't something that she wanted to do anymore, which was fine. But at the time, it was a good thing she left, just like if a dad leaves early, you know what I mean? Because she left early on where just now I learned to talk the mic and mix by myself. And, and even when she left, I could have stopped playing the sound easy. Because them time, I not met no money yet, I never gone nowhere yet. Right? So I could have easily stopped playing the song, but I felt like I was like leaving the kid on the doorstep. Like, you know, and the Roses is something that Guns N' Roses, like even just the name and, you know, where it comes from and everything, it's like a religion. I always used to say that to me. It's like something I believe in, that I'm my thing. So, and yes, now over 10 years, it meant me money. And, you know, sometimes when I said to myself, wow, big up Linda P and Squingy them Monday, because if me never pick up this, what would I do someday when me not no money?
Right.
What would I do? You know me, I say, so like, thank God I have this hobby that I happen to pick up, that I happen to be doing so well in, right? So it's, I can't leave it, guy. It's like I'm so fortunate to have it. And even sometimes when I'm tired, like, look, I forget today said the interview, you know, because I was on the road and I came back in, and, you know, I was like, damn, I have to do that. Like, I have to do what I have to do for Guns N' Roses, because, you know, in a way, it's a big, big blessing in disguise. And even sometimes when it's rough and I don't want to do it, like this is pissing me off or whatever, and don't feel like go tonight, or the club where me I go, I don't want to see them dirty girl there or whatever. I still just go. I still just go, because you know what? There's gonna be few people that, as soon as I come off, yo, Roses, that we're on their fire, whatever. And those are the things that also make me feel good. Like when I hear people say to me, yo, man, I heard you, forget the night that I'm playing. When they come to me that same night after I played, and they're like, yo, I see you one time when you play around, I'm like, you remember that? And he's like, oh, you mean if remember that? Yo, my girl, a long time. Yeah. I'm like, yo, you see, I can't just, like you said, make somebody say, yo, what happened to Guns N' Roses? I want somebody to say, yo, me just hear our play last week. I don't want to, yeah, what happened to Guns N' Roses for me? But yeah, for real, a long time when I hear them girl they play, you know, because you will have somebody that will say that, and then at least 2 seconds later, somebody will say, yo, they got me here such a shell down, so and so what there. Good, that more want to go on. I don't, not to say I'm gonna play sound forever, but I appreciate that people appreciate me, and I can't let them down. I can't let people down. Like, I've realized, oh, somebody might be hearing this and be like, oh, whatever, she. No, people tell me that. So when people tell me that, I appreciate that, and that's what makes me get up out my bed at nighttime when I rather rub my toes and watch Criminal Minds, right? I get up and I go, because you know what? After 10 years, you're right. It does get a little bit repetitive, you know, and consistent. And you got Germany 3, 4 times, 5 times now. Like, where else you're going to show me over there? You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, but these are the things that keep you going. You wonder, oh, Pant and them, man, they keep going. These are the things that keep them going, because, you know, it's something that you hold close and dear to you, that you love. So it's a passion.
One last thing, Tasha. I know that you're a member of the Alliance, which is Bounty Killers Group. Is there anything that you can tell us, any future plans or any current plans that you all have going on, which include Tasha Rozez?
No, I can't really tell you nothing, you know. I'm like one of the, here's the word that I've come to, the extended family member, right?
Okay.
Yeah, like me as a cousin of the cousin of the cousin or something. Big up Bounty Killer, I'm a general all the while. You don't know. However, things, you know, like things have just changed and evolved so much. And I think that's even one of the original reasons why Killer Noah said I will always be one of his extended daughters, because me not stop say Bounty Killer, me not stop say Besa this. There's certain people where me not gonna stop say. You know, me not say me don't say Alliance, cause me say Killer more than me say Alliance still. And that is why I was inducted or put into the Alliance, because a Killer me really say. Because when you check it in at the beginning, that what Alliance was. Myself, Lexi Lee, Ruffian, all of those original female Alliance members, that now there's more of them, you know, big up Aishana, big up Bridges, you know, Stacia. So you have the whole of them now that are taking it to a different level. So my role really as somebody, I don't want to say even in it, but part of their extended family, is just really to endorse them. But here's the thing, I'm going to do the same for every other artist as well. You know what I mean? So,
Sweet.
You know, it's not like me bias to them alone, but, you know, yeah, me big up Cartel before too. Like, and that's the thing, me know Cartel and Killer from them a friend. You know me, I say, so for me now, for one tech sides or to be separate, I could never do that. right? But I mean, I can't give you any future plans, but myself, I'm always speaking with the ladies out of the alliance. We're always in touch, and my personal goal for them is to at least make some mixed CDs for them, push their music, because that's what my role as an extended family member is to do as a selector also, that's what I appreciate about being a selector. A lot of the times it's a different role than what everybody else is. A lot of people are artists. Being a DJ now, I can, have the opportunity to publish or promote music in a different way, which is by playing it. I was saying that the other day on Twitter. I don't big up the artists them by retweeting what they say. I big them up by when I bust dance with them song at nighttime. Like, you know what I mean? So that's my role, and that's my role even as being a part of the alliance or any crew, is to promote, the people's music all times as best as I can.
Thank you, Tasha, for taking the time to sit down with us here at Desperado Promotions. We really appreciate you, and we encourage you to just keep doing what you're doing. I mean, it truly is important for teamwork. It's important to keep positivity, and it's important to never forget where you came from. And you've definitely showed us that you haven't forgotten, and it looks like that you have a bright future ahead of you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, and no man, I'm just doing what I'm trying to do here, and I appreciate you guys having me on, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to voice myself, because I don't often get that opportunity to. Most of the time my platform is when I'm playing or when I'm DJing or whatever. So there is a different side to Tasha Rozez that a lot of people don't really know of. They think I'm mean or, the sound killer girl. So holler. Hope they can see the difference. And if there was anything they didn't know, they know now.